Hallo miteinander, I'm Gish86 and this is the Let's Play for Funtacular. Week 5 is going to be a somewhat tutorial-esque video from me. We were allowed to choose our own game this time, so I picked EG, a freeware action platformer made by Daniel Remar. Our objective this week is to make a video that both educates you about how to play the game and entertains you at the same time. So, I will try my best to do that. First, we'll cover the story of this game very briefly. In EG, the Earth is attacked by an alien race called the Tazen, who launched an alpha strike on Earth, basically putting the world into apocalypse. EG was badly injured during this incident, but picked up by a bunch of scientists. These scientists have acquired the nanotechnology of the Tazen and will try to give it to EG by surgery. However, just before the scientists were to wake her up, the Tazens attacked and killed them. Wow, that is one grim start for this game, isn't it? Well, after a while, EG wakes up on her own, finding herself confused and lost. At this point she doesn't even know that she is a cyborg, but she soon discovers the scientists and the people responsible for this massacre. EG soon realizes that she must face the Tazen invaders. Her only aid in this ordeal is her older brother Dan, who communicates with her via the many loudspeakers in the military facility. Apart from her superhuman strength, EG also has an adaptive nanogun, kind of like those things in Judge Dredd. So without further ado, let's go over the controls. Here we have the actual game. You can move EG around by pressing the arrow keys. You can also make her shoot her shotgun. Very menacing, isn't it? She cannot shoot while ducking or while jumping. She has a powerful kick move. You can duck by pressing down, and you can jump by pressing up. You can also pull yourself up ledges. With the use key, you can read logbooks and interact with various objects. The keys for kicking, shooting, and interacting with objects can be set in the options menu to your preference. Well, so far this game sounds like a pretty average action platformer, doesn't it? That couldn't be further from the truth. In EG, you collect tiny blue nanoparticles to gain experience and level up. Unlike most action games where you level up, you don't just get stronger, you get skill points, and you can assign these on wall terminals. These correspond to one of 7 stats that EG has. Choosing your stats wisely is the key to this game. I will now go over these stats in detail. The first stat is health. Every point put into health increases your life by 2. Increasing health is good for those situations where you don't want to die, which is pretty much always. Not all attacks in this game will go for your health right away. Projectiles like machine gun bullets will have to eat through your armor bar first. Only when it's depleted will you take 1 point of damage. All your enemies also have an armor bar, so the same thing applies to them. Attacks like melee attacks and explosives will go for health right away though. The attack stat will increase the damage that all of EG's guns do. You can find 8 basic guns in this game, and you switch between them by pressing the number key that is attributed to said gun. They are found in the lower left corner. Assimilate is a stat that increases the maximum amount of ammunition you can hold for each gun. It's very useful if you don't want your weapon of choice to run out. The fourth stat, strength, determines the power of your kick. You need a high enough strength to be able to kick down many doors. You also need a high enough strength to be able to kick some enemies at all. For example, the Tazen Scout needs a strength of 3 to be able to kick him. Generally, kicking is a lot of fun in this game. You wouldn't think it would be any good when you have so many guns, but nope. Kicking is very reliable. It does a lot of damage, it sends enemies flying and stuns them. Sounds like madness, doesn't it? Well, this is EG for you. The Tasen stat enables you to use the weapons of the Tasen. Only if your stat is high enough can you pick up these weapons. There are the machine gun at level 3, which is very good for these small fries. The rocket launcher at level 6, which is better for durable enemies. And finally the MPFB Devastator at level 10. Only the mightiest of Tasen warriors have this. The Komato stat is kind of like the Tasen stat. You can pick up the weapons of the Komato aliens with it. There is the Pulse gun at level 3, which is a very rapid firing gun. We have the Shock Splinter at level 6, a gun which does a good chunk of collateral damage. And finally, the Cyclic Fusion Ignition System, a weapon outlawed by the Komato. Who are the Komato, you might ask? I'm not spoiling that. Last, but definitely not least, is the Crack skill. Cracking is activated by pressing the use key when you're encountering a locked door, lockbox, or a security terminal. What this will do is it will start a little minigame where you have to guide a blinking square through a grid. In this minigame you have to avoid the black squares, but you're also timed. You need to reach the end of the grid before time runs out. Some doors and lockboxes are more difficult to crack and will give you less time and a bigger grid. Cracking is very important in advancing in this game, probably even more than kicking. You need it for many of the hidden things. Believe it or not, you can also crack enemies. This will either kill them or hurt them badly. They will also drop better items for you if you crack them. You've got to be stealthy though. If that wasn't enough, EG can actually crack up herself, even if no one's telling a joke. This is a hidden skill obtained in Sector 7. You can use it by pressing and holding down, pressing the use key 4 times followed by a kick. This will reboot your system and will enable you to reassign all of your skill points, if needed. The final purpose of the cracking skill is the usage of the Nano Weapon stations. If you have a high enough cracking skill and 2 weapons that can be combined, you can do so at the Nano Weapon station. You just pick the weapons that you want, make it through another cracking minigame, and voila, you have a new gun. You still have your old guns though, plus your new hybrid. Let's look at some of them. The Buster gun works kind of like your shotgun, but has a much higher rate of fire. The Nuke is a screen clearing attack that even sends EG flying. That's how powerful it is. And finally, the Velocithor V210, perhaps the mightiest weapon in the whole game. And that is pretty much all there is to say about the skills in this game. You can get up to 50 skill points during the game, and even with those you won't be able to max everything out. Heck, even if you find all the hidden supercharges in the game, you won't be able to. They're worth 1 point. And that's our next cue, hidden things. There are loads of secrets in this game. Finding them may be even more important than just fighting. There are, for example, there's a poster in each level, but that's just a minor thing. There is a side quest where you have to find all of Mia's ribbons, Mia being the lost sister of EG. Only if you find all of her ribbons will you be able to determine Mia's fate. Only if you assign your skill points wisely will you be able to get everything. Sometimes you have to do some very unusual things. Yes, that is the only way to get through there. Sometimes you even have to be masochistic. Now that's what I call rocket boost. You know, I really like this game, I really do, but sometimes there's just so much violence, death and destruction in it. It makes me sad. Why does it have to be this way? Why can't we all just get along? Actually, you can! That's right, the thing that EG is most renowned for is its so-called Pacifist run. You can play through the game without ever killing a single enemy. Now you might be wondering, why would you ever want to do that? Well, not only is it more challenging than the regular game, but the game is also set up to make this Pacifist run interesting. New events and conversations will pop up. Like this one. Here the Tazen soldiers of Sector 3 will offer you a truce. Sometimes just advancing in Pacifist mode is a puzzle in itself. And you can even skip a boss fight in this mode, which is also something neat. You can just have someone else do the dirty work for you. Despite being a pacifist, there are ways to retaliate. If you have crafted the resonance reflector, you can kill enemies with their own projectiles. That doesn't count towards your kill counter. And occasionally, your problems may just solve themselves and you will not have to fight. Durr, I wonder what happens if I shoot this funny looking box. And this concludes my entry for this week. I have taught you pretty much all I can about EG. But one more thing, don't you agree that EG has the best hair? Thought so. And with these words, I'm Gish86, this was EG, bis bald!